Hola chicos, muchas gracias por continuar con nosotros. La verdad es que hoy ha sido un día muy movido, hemos tenido muchas conferencias muy interesantes, hemos aprendido muchísimo y pues no es de más decirles que esta plática también va a ser muy interesante, además que es nuestro último webinario del día y de nuestra expo, así que es muy especial. El día de hoy, chicos, además de ser, como les platicaba, la última plática del día y de la expo, también vamos a poner a practicar su nivel de inglés, porque esta plática que vamos a tener con nuestro representante de Solcamps, Nick Moore, va a ser todo en inglés. Yo les voy a traducir, pero cualquier cosa, chicos, pueden escribir ya sea en español o en inglés en nuestro chat para hacerle todas las preguntas que quieran a Nick Moore. So, Nick, welcome to our webinar. It's a pleasure to have you here. I'm so happy to see you. I know it's a virtual way, but welcome to our expo online of Mundo Joven. And how are you doing?
Thank you very much, Ale, for having me, and thank you to Mundo Joven for putting on a fair and a virtual event despite all the challenges. I'm doing well, and it's really good to chat with you, and it's really good to see you.
Perfecto. Entonces, chicos, bueno, ya nos decía Nick que está muy contento de estar con nosotros, que agradece el tiempo que le estamos brindando. Entonces, vamos a empezar la entrevista, ¿les parece? Nick, if it's okay with you, I'm going to start ask questions for you about the program of Soul Camps. So, first of all, I want to know a little more about Soul Camps and all the company of Soul Camps for our students to know more.
Yeah, certainly. So I'll tell you a little bit about Soul Camps and the education group that we're a part of. Soul Camps belongs to a big education group called Homes, and we are the brand for all of the under 18 programs. So we offer summer camps and winter camps and year-round study tours. But our Homes education group, we have many different products. We have universities, we have colleges, teacher training programs, as well as language programs for adults. So that's a little bit about the Soul Camps brand. But the camp itself is quite a popular program and quite a, I think, interesting and exciting experience for summer students and winter students that are looking to get away from home, travel abroad to a new country, practice their English, but also gain a lot of experience in learning about cultures and other students from around the world, and also learning about here in Canada or the United States, our countries as well.
Perfecto. Ok, chicos, bueno, Nick nos platicaba un poquito del grupo educativo que es Homes, donde tienen diferentes programas que también no solamente Soul Camps, que es como la marca de juniors, de los más chiquitos a los 17 años, sino también tienen programas de idiomas, tienen programas de universidades, de colleges, pero el día de hoy nos vamos a enfocar en el tema de campamentos. So, Nick, the first question for you is, why is Soul Camps a summer of adventure program?
Yeah, I mean that's probably the best question to answer for you. Our program, I think, is a summer of adventure because we try to offer more than just your academic and your sightseeing trip abroad. We try to really help students develop a bit more of the things that they are looking for, their interests, their hobbies. But we're also trying to instill a good sense of confidence and independence in all of our students through a number of different activities that we offer at the school. From everything to do with leadership workshops to rock climbing and outdoor events, team building exercises, really fun types of viral challenges, whether it's a video program or a flash mob or a debate. We try to really instill in our students a bit of adventure through our activities, complemented by our academics, but also executed through a great program from very professional and engaging staff.
Perfecto. Ok, chicos, bueno, pues Nick nos platicaba que algo muy interesante de Soul Camps que es el por qué es más allá de un programa académico, es un programa de aventura, es un programa que los chicos realmente tienen la oportunidad de debatir, que tienen la oportunidad de hacer actividades fuera de lo común, por ejemplo. Es algo muy padre, Sol Camps todos los años hace un flash mob y usan, por ejemplo, lugares emblemáticos de Toronto y entonces van ahí, hacen el flash mob, los graban y entonces los suben a sus redes sociales para que todos lo puedan ver. Entonces, algo muy divertido. De la misma manera, así como también tiene la parte académica, todos los días tienen una actividad, todos los chicos tienen ya una actividad programada, la cual va a estar complementando esta parte académica. La verdad es que es muy divertido porque son actividades al aire libre, son actividades que puede ser también conocer lugares, como les decía, emblemáticos de la ciudad, que pueden también conocer lugares alrededor de la ciudad, como es las cataratas de Niágara, en este caso si vamos a Toronto. Entonces, es un programa muy, muy completo. So, Nick, we know you have a great central location in Toronto. Can you please let us know where is Soul Camp located?
Yeah. So wherever we try to offer a Soul Camps program in whichever city we're located, we always try to make sure that we're based on a university campus. That's the first thing. And we always try to make sure that we are located in the center of town. In Toronto's program, we're located at the University of Toronto's St. Michael's campus. Now, the University of Toronto is a very, very large university. It's also the number one ranked university in Canada. They have many different campuses, but the campus that we use is the downtown campus. So for our students, that's really beneficial because they're steps away from some of the most famous sites in Toronto, but everything is also situated in one central area. So they're steps away from their meal hall. They're only a short walk away from their residence and their lecture halls. And it allows us to make sure that we can get to all the activities and all the sites around the city and around the area very, very easily.
Perfect. Ok, Nick nos platicaba que ellos tratan siempre todos los campus de campamentos que tienen en Solcamps estén en una ubicación céntrica y dentro de una universidad. En este caso, Solcamps Toronto está dentro de la Universidad de Toronto, ahora sí que University of Toronto, está rankeada como el número 1 de Canadá y están en el campus de St. Michael's. Esto también les da la oportunidad que cuando tienen actividades y que salen del campus, lleguen muy fácil, que no se compliquen tanto en tomar tanto transporte o que tengan que desplazarse largas distancias, porque la locación del campamento les da la oportunidad que lleguen muy fácil a todas las atracciones. Ahora, también mencionarles, chicos, que una ventaja que tiene Soul Camps es que ustedes van a vivir la experiencia universitaria, ya que van a dormir dentro de las residencias de la universidad. Entonces, durante ese verano van a poder pues vivir como un estudiante universitario dentro de la Universidad de Toronto. Entonces, esto es increíble. Ok, Nick, can you tell me why do you think that Toronto is a good location for a summer camp in Canada?
Well, I think Toronto is a great destination to visit for many reasons. One, it's the largest city in Canada. It's the fourth largest city in North America. But it's also one of the most multicultural and diverse cities in the world. And when students from around the world come to Toronto, I think one of the things that we really try to make sure that they're aware of while learning about the city is a bit more about Canada. And I think Toronto is a really good reflection of Canada. You know, 50% of people in Toronto were born outside of the country. So it shows a lot of students the importance of travel and the importance of experience, but also the importance of having a common language that you can communicate with, in this case, English. So when students come to Toronto, I think they're exposed to a lot of great culture, a lot of diversity, and I think a very how would you say, a very top class cosmopolitan city. So that's why I think Toronto is a fantastic location.
Ok, bueno, Nick nos platicaba que Toronto, además de ser la ciudad más larga de Canadá, tiene esta parte de la diversidad cultural súper marcada. O sea, chicos, es donde van a poder conocer gente de todo el mundo. Generalmente la gente que nace, bueno, que vive en Toronto, no necesariamente nació ahí, sino en otras ciudades. Entonces, pues, y en otros países también. Entonces, podemos conocer un poco más de la cultura que se ha generado en Canadá, porque como saben, chicos, Canadá es un país súper multicultural, donde vamos a conocer gente de todo el mundo. Como bien platicábamos en otros webinarios, no quiere decir que no sean canadienses, simplemente que pueden ser descendencia de otras nacionalidades o que se hayan ido a vivir a Canadá y estén viviendo en este momento. Entonces, es algo que nos permite a nosotros como estudiantes internacionales conocer. Además que también Toronto es una ciudad cosmopolita, entonces es una de las razones que también nos comenta Nick, que es increíble poder conocer Toronto por esta parte además de la multiculturalidad de la ciudad cosmopolita. Y también que es un resumen de Canadá, que para él Toronto es como todo lo que Canadá es, lo pueden encontrar ahí. Y yo creo que mucha gente, la que ahorita está conectada con nosotros, no nos dejará mentir. Toronto es una ciudad vibrante, es una ciudad llena de actividades y pasar el verano en Toronto, a comparación de lo que pensamos, que nos vamos a morir de frío, que hay nieve o a lo mejor el clima no nos va a beneficiar, es algo completamente falso, chicos. Verano en Toronto es súper cálido. De hecho, de las actividades también los llevan a playas, los llevan a parques de diversiones acuáticos. Entonces es muy padre porque realmente tienen pues un verano inolvidable. Okay, Nick. So the next question is, can you explain me, please, what programs Soul Camps offer for children's teenagers and family, please?
Yeah. So I think one of the great things about our camp is the fact that we are part of a larger education group. So what this means is we can provide programs to children and to teenagers, but also to the parents. So family programs. The children's program is geared towards students who are much younger, so 7 to 13 years old, or sorry, 7 to 12 years old. And the reason why we have a separate program for children and teenagers is because the types of things they like to do, the depth uh, around concepts and language, are very different. So we also have to be careful of the ratios. And when you're working with younger children, you need a special type of staff who are prepared and professional with dealing with that specific age group. So at our camp, we offer the children's program, we offer the teenage program, which gives them a lot more independence. Again, appropriate types of activities for that age group. But then we have the family programs. So through our English school for adults, Oxford House College, parents can go and study English during the day if they wish, while their kids are in our safe hands, having a great time at our summer camp. And for all three program options, we offer the choice for students to take either a school program, so that means just classes. They can take a day program, so that means Monday to Friday, they can take classes as well as activities in the afternoon, or the most popular option for our program, the overnight option. And that's where the kids get to have 24/7 care. They have their residence and accommodation and meals with us. But in addition to all the activities and classes during the week, they have fantastic weekend excursions. So those are the three types of programs that we offer.
Perfect. So, chicos, Soul Camps ofrece diferentes tipos de campamentos que hay para todos, edades y para todos, porque tiene diferentes programas. Uno de ellos es el programa de Children's, que está enfocado para los más chiquitos, que es de 7 a 12 años, donde obviamente están cambiando, o bueno, separando a los chiquitos de los adolescentes. ¿Por qué? Porque son diferentes las actividades que tocan a los chicos pequeños que a los adolescentes. Entonces, en este campamento están con staff preparado para todas las necesidades que requiere un pequeño, como el homesick, como que se sientan un poco tristes porque están lejos de papás, como que a lo mejor les cuesta un poquito más de trabajo de interactuar. Entonces, esto justamente el staff que tienen en especial, pues ayuda a los chicos a que vivan una experiencia increíble. A los adolescentes tienen un programa que va de 13 a 17, que igual son actividades acorde a su edad y también les dan un poco más independencia. Obviamente supervisados en ambos programas 24/7, pero tienen un poco más actividades más acorde pues a las edades que están ya de adolescentes. Tenemos también el programa de Family Program. Este programa es muy padre porque es un programa donde la familia que quiere tomar un verano diferente, donde también quieren ellos practicar el idioma, pues ellos mientras están tomando clases de inglés en la escuela de inglés de OHS, ellos, los chicos, están en el campamento, sumamente cuidados, tomando las actividades en el campamento. Entonces, terminan sus clases, tienen algunas actividades y los papás y los hijos se reúnen. Tienen dos modalidades los campamentos, que puede ser day program. El day program es donde los chicos toman las clases de inglés, algunas actividades y se van con su familia o, bueno, con sus papás y tienen el day program, que es el programa favorito. ¿Por qué? Porque es donde realmente, chicos, como les platicaba, ustedes viven la experiencia de un universitario. Se quedan a dormir, están todo el día en actividades, yo ya viví esta parte de ir de camper, ir supervisando a los chiquitos, donde nos despertaban 7:30 de la mañana y los chicos se dormían a las 10 de la noche. Entonces, todo el día están en actividades, además de tomar las clases, tienen todos los momentos sumamente divertidos, algunos deportes, algunos, por ejemplo, también les ponían pues algunos rallies, les ponían algunos concursos, entonces era muy divertido porque la verdad es que los chiquitos se divertían muchísimo y siempre tenían actividades. Okay, Nick, I want to know now what are the most popular activities and excursions offered at Soul Camps Toronto?
So that's usually one of my favorite questions to answer, but I think it's really important for me to point out here that when we have students that come from all around the world at different ages, the types of things that they all like to do are different. So they vary. And I think a testament to our activities program and the strengths is the variety of programs that we offer. But in addition to the variety of activities we offer, I think what we do, and this is really important, is we have the right people for the right role. So classes can sometimes be the most exciting part of a student's experience because our teachers are so engaging and active, and the methodology in class that we use is really, really exciting for the students to have fun in class. A lot of other activities that are popular amongst the students are things, sometimes just like club night. Club night is when students get to sign up for different clubs that we offer at the school, whether it's music or writing a newsletter or being part of the social committee that designs and prepares everything for our dances. But then you have people who have always wanted to come to a new city and see the sights like CN Tower, or to go to Toronto and visit Niagara Falls. Excursions like that can also be sometimes the most popular. So it really depends on the students. But one great thing I think is that our team ensures that no matter what a student likes, they're going to have a fun time. And if they're nervous, our team's going to make sure that they feel comfortable, that they feel included, and that maybe something they wouldn't normally have thought they might enjoy, they turn out to have the most fun at. So really, I think that's a tough question, but one that would always change because we have very, very popular activities and a great team helping make sure it's a success.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I remember when I went to soul camps and I have a really good time. There were activities for everyone, so I know for sure that soul camps is a really good camp for everyone. Ok, chicos. Pues bueno, como nos platicaba Nick, aquí depende mucho de los estudiantes, porque tiene una actividad para todos, ¿no? Tanto para los chicos que les gusta más la parte académica, que se emocionan mucho, además de que los profesores de Soul Camps son muy dinámicos, son muy entregados a lo que hacen, entonces hacen unas clases muy dinámicas, muy padres para ellos. Entonces hay chicos que les gusta tomar estas clubs de noche, donde pueden hacer periódicos, pueden hacer música, o sea, tienen diferentes enfoques que ellos pueden tomar. o a lo mejor es un estudiante que le gusta o que quiere ir a un campamento porque quiere conocer la parte turística de Toronto, ¿no? Como las cataratas del Niágara, como la CN Tower. Entonces, Sol Camps nos asegura que hay una actividad para todos y siempre van a tener el staff correcto para cada estudiante. Entonces, esto también es muy atractivo. Pues bueno, o sea, sí es una realidad que aquí depende mucho de lo que a nosotros nos guste. Un campamento, chicos, pues también tiene que ser como parte de los hobbies que nosotros hacemos que los tengan, ¿no? Por ejemplo, si nosotros hacemos fútbol, básquetbol, si nos gusta mucho bailar, cantar, etcétera, estoy segura que van a encontrar la actividad perfecta en el campamento. Además, y como ya les comentaba, Sol Camps tiene un calendario ya estipulado. Ahorita Nick nos va a platicar un poquito más sobre esto, pero ya tiene un calendario estipulado tanto para children's, para teenagers, para que ustedes siempre sepan qué van a hacer. So Nick, I was talking about with our students about the calendar of activities that you have. So I want to know, or I want you to tell us about this because the calendar is really amazing. You have really uh, so much things to do. So, can you tell us more about the calendar, please?
Yeah. So a good way to look at our program is to think about our program in 7 day increments. So a week at a time. Students that come to our camp, they arrive on Sunday. And once they arrive, whether it's in the morning or in the evening, they're greeted by our team at the airport and then brought to the campus. From that moment, we've got a lot of things planned. We have a student kind of lounge where the students can always come and hang out. It's where they can go to get more information. But they'll also see our calendar. And Monday to Friday, from 9 a.m. until 12:30, our students are in class. But in the afternoon, after lunch, they'll go on activities in the afternoon. And then after dinner, they'll have evening activities as well. Each week, we have about 4 to 5 ticketed activities. So those are paid activities that are already included in your student's package. Outside of those paid activities, we have things, as I mentioned before, like club night, movie nights. We have sports on campus. We have video projects that we work on, flash mobs, a number of different things like that, talent shows, parties. So those are the type of activities we have during the week. But on the weekends, we do things like high ropes courses, zip lining, canoeing. Of course, we go to Niagara Falls and we, of course, have our students enjoy Wonderland, which is a big, big theme park here in Canada. But then we also have things like rock climbing. And sometimes for students, if they're there for multiple weeks and they don't want to repeat an activity, we have other options that can be, bike rentals in Hyde Park or beach hangouts on the weekend as well. So our calendar is quite full. And as you pointed out, we've got a variety of things. So what we try to do in the activity portion is keep our students engaged. And that's why, as I mentioned to you when trying to answer the question about the most popular activity, it's difficult to answer because we have a variety and we're always trying to give students different options. So yeah, that's a little bit about our calendar, I guess.
Ok, chicos, bueno, Nick nos platica que, por ejemplo, sí, ya como les decía, tenemos un calendario ya estipulado y lo pueden ver ustedes en el campamento. Generalmente ustedes pueden verlo en el lounge salón que tiene en las residencias donde ustedes pueden pasar el rato y también ver qué actividades les tocan. Generalmente, chicos, las clases son de 9 a 12:30 y posteriormente, después del lunch, ustedes van a tener actividades ya sean recreativas, culturales, al aire libre, deportivas, etcétera, cenan y todavía después tienen actividades por la tarde-noche. Esto quiere decir que siempre, siempre van a hacer algo súper divertido. Obviamente van a conocer las cataratas del Niágara, van a ir a Canada's Wonderland, que es como nuestro Six Flags, es muy divertido. Y además de esto, chicos, pues ustedes si se quedan muchas semanas y no quieren repetir estas actividades, pueden ustedes tomar las actividades opcionales, por ejemplo, andar en bicicleta o ir a una playa, que no ven, o sea, que son opcionales a las que están en ese momento. Entonces, Es un calendario completo para que ustedes estén muy comprometidos y muy felices en el campamento donde van a estar. Que yo les aseguro que así será porque es un campamento muy, muy completo. So, Nick, now I have an academic question for you. So, our students must have a specific level of English to be enrolled in your camp.
Well, I think that's one of the best parts of our program is that we accept students at all levels. On their first day, students will be taking a test, and that test will comprise of two parts. It'll be a reading and writing test, and then they'll have a listening and speaking interview with our teachers. Based on those two scores, they'll be placed in one of our 6 levels. And as I mentioned, we do take from absolute beginner to high advanced. Now, when it comes to academics, I think one of the questions that you'll be curious to know is how do we structure these lessons? So these classes are structured in a way where the students are in the appropriate level, but then they're also in a, I think, appropriate class size. We try to make sure that the sizes of our classrooms for children and teenagers are also both adequate for their age groups. So the students in the children's program will have smaller class sizes than those in the teenager programs. But when it comes down to the academics, we also provide our own curriculum. So our curriculum here in Canada for the Toronto camp is specifically made for our Toronto program. So what students are learning in class at different levels based on their English ability will relate to the activities that they do in the afternoon or the theme of that week. So what that means is if students have a low level of English and they meet with a number of other students that have higher levels, they'll still be on the same page about what's going on. And that's a great way for us to keep our students informed, but also a great way for us to make sure that there's always some common ground for students at all levels of English to meet with one another.
Perfect, Nick. Ok, so, Nick nos platica esta parte de las clases que es muy atractivo. La verdad es que los chicos, desde que llegan, se les hace un examen tanto oral como hablado para saber realmente en qué nivel está. Aquí no importa en qué nivel vayas, puedes ir desde completo principiante, desde principiante hasta avanzado y te van a colocar en el nivel que tú correspondes. ¿Qué sucede aquí? Las clases, o bueno, Sol Camps hace su propio programa académico de acuerdo a la actividad que van a tomar ustedes por la tarde o a las actividades que van a ver esa semana. Entonces, es un programa que está muy adecuado a el programa de campamento. Estas clases, como ya les decíamos, son muy dinámicas, son muy padres y pues ustedes van a estar en uno de esos 6 niveles donde los acomoden de acuerdo al nivel que salgan en este examen. Entonces, no se preocupen, chicos, todos van a poder estar ahí sin ningún problema. Obviamente, las clases, tanto de children's como de teenagers, son enfocadas a tener a no tantos estudiantes, sino que sean estudiantes enfocados en ese nivel y que todos entiendan y que realmente disfruten esas clases. Entonces, esto también es un plus que nos da Sol Camps. So, Nick, can you tell us about the start dates and number of weeks available for the 2021? And what is the recommended time to book and space in your camp?
So our program runs for 8 weeks in Toronto, and it starts June 20th and ends on the 15th of August. As I mentioned, students can arrive any Sunday throughout that program, and they can stay for anywhere between 1 week to the entirety of the program, all 8 weeks. Believe it or not, we've had a lot of students that have come and stayed with us for 8 weeks. Of course, what we try to do is ensure that any student here for a minimum of 3 weeks doesn't have any repeated activities. So I would say if you are staying beyond 3 weeks, there's a chance that there might be some activities that are repeated. But as you heard me say earlier, we always try to provide alternative options to our students. So hopefully that's not an issue. And I know that when students go to Wonderland, it's never an issue at all to go 2 times. But I recommend in terms of a time to come, July, I think, is a really popular month. The weather is really nice here in Canada. But to be honest with you, because we have students from all around the world, different periods of our program, different weeks have different students from different countries. So it might be the case that at the beginning of the program, we have more students from Europe. In the middle of the program, we might have more students from, the Caribbean or from Latin America or from North Africa. Towards the end of the program, we might have more students from Asia. So all the time we have students from all around the world. Last year we had 35 countries. But I think if you're looking to get a good mix of weather and nationality, and also when our camp is most popular, July is probably the best month to book. But of course, anytime you come, you're going to have a fantastic experience.
Perfecto. Ok, bueno, Nick nos platicaba que el programa de Soul Camps en verano llegan a durar 8 semanas, de finales de junio a mediados de agosto, y que siempre van a tener actividades, ¿no? Y además que también varía mucho donde vayamos, las nacionalidades que van a tener. Por ejemplo, la última vez que hubo campamento fueron más de 35 nacionalidades, entonces imagínense todos los chicos que estuvieron ahí. Que por ejemplo también nos platicaba estas partes de que a principios de julio están más nacionalidades de Europa, brasileños, a lo mejor mediados de julio están un poco más mexicanos con europeos, y al final están más asiáticos. Nos asegura esta parte que siempre vamos a tener un mix de nacionalidades, entonces siempre vamos a conocer mucho más chicos de otras partes del mundo para practicar el inglés, que esto es lo más importante. Okay, Nick. So our next question, I think, is one of the most important one, because you know Latin parents, and you know that as parents we are a little attached to our kids and overprotecting them. So I want to know a little bit more about the supervision of the camp and how is organized the security and the supervision of the kids in soul camps.
Well, first, I'd like to say I think parents from all around the world are just as concerned when they're sending their kids so far to have an experience. So you're not alone in that regard. That being said, we also take the supervision and the safety of our students very, very importantly. And from the moment that we start interviewing and hiring our staff, who are going to be dealing with, our clients' children, we make sure that they have police background checks, that they are first aid certified, and that they've gone through a good orientation and training to make sure that in the case of any emergency, whether it's health or whether it's an issue of safety, our team knows how to respond. So that's the first thing. The next thing is when students are here, from the moment they arrive to the moment they leave, insurance is also included for our students. So that means if there's any, medical concerns that they have to worry about, our team will take care of those things and we'll bring them to the hospital or to the clinic, and we'll deal with all the follow-up as well. So right from the beginning, we're protecting the students in terms of getting the right emergency insurance program to apply to their experience here. The next thing is different staff do the different jobs. So I think when you're thinking about safety and supervision, you have to make sure that the staff are always alert. So our program, our teachers teach during the day, and that's their job. Our activity staff do the events and the activities, and that's their role. And then in the evenings, we have resident staff that maintain order, but also supervision of the students in residence. And I think that's an important way to keep students, our staff alert and attentive, not tired or exhausted. So those are different ways where we try to make sure that our students are protected. But we also, again, never let our students, especially in the children's program, go off on their own. Whenever we are traveling, we will always have a buddy system, and we'll always make sure that our staff and the students know the meeting points, that they do a name check and a roll call, when they're leaving, when they arrive, and when they're about to enjoy the activity. But when it comes to the campus, we also work closely with the University of Toronto to make sure that our students are safe. So we have campus police that guard the perimeter, 24/7, and that's especially helpful at night when they're just making sure that with different support that they have, the cameras and the police officers on campus, that the students are always safe and protected. But ultimately, I think I want parents to know that we take their safety very seriously, and that's why we take no shortcuts in making sure we have the right staff and the right procedures in place.
Perfect. So, chicos, para Sol Camps es muy importante esta parte de la seguridad de los campistas. Entonces, algo que es muy importante saber es que cada parte del staff tiene un rol específico, ¿no? Por ejemplo, los maestros se enfocan en las clases y ese es su rol. El staff de las actividades se enfocan a que los chicos tanto estén todos completos, siempre se les pone un punto de reunión cuando llegan, se pasa lista cuando llegan, cuando regresan, cuando todo el tiempo están pasando una lista para saber que todos estén juntos. De la misma manera, tienen un staff en la noche, es el que supervisa las residencias y que todo esté en orden. Ahora, algo también muy importante que comentarles es que durante toda la estadía que ustedes estén en Sol Camps, su hijo ya tiene seguro incluido. Entonces, esto quiere decir que cualquier tema médico, el staff ya está capacitado para ya sea llevarlo al hospital o llevarlo a una clínica y también para el seguimiento de la enfermedad. Entonces, por esta parte podemos estar tranquilos. Además, la seguridad de la universidad también está muy al pendiente, que todos estén bien, que no esté pasando nada, que los chicos no se salgan de sus cuartos en las noches. Entonces, siempre hay alguien que esté supervisando. Y por temas médicos, también el campamento está siempre al pendiente de los chicos, desde una gripa hasta, esperemos que no pase, algo mayor. Entonces, por esta parte, Nick nos lo recalca mucho, la seguridad es muy, muy importante para Sol Camps, para cada uno de sus campistas. Okay, Nick. So I want to know now, before we answer to our student questions, can you tell me what's included in Sol Camps programs?
So I think the question should be, what's not included in the Soul Camp?
Yeah.
Our program is all inclusive, which means everything from the moment they arrive to the moment they leave is part of that package. So their insurance for health, their airport transfers back and forth, all of the activities that they go on and during the week and also on the weekend excursions. All of the meals are included, and that means breakfast, lunch, and dinner, most of which are buffet and on campus at the University of Toronto. Delicious food. And then we also have our textbooks included in the program as well. So the classes. And then we have something that we like to call Soul Camp swag. And that's things like hats, water bottles, shirts, bags, pens. All of that is provided to our students. So really, I think the question is, what isn't included? And as far as I'm aware, the only thing is the flight. That's the one thing that they'll have to pay for themselves once they come here.
Perfect. Ok, bueno, la pregunta que nos hace Nick a todos es, ¿qué no está incluido? ¿Por qué? Porque en Sol Camps todo está incluido. Está incluido las comidas, las excursiones, las actividades, todo lo que necesiten los chicos allá está incluido, los libros. Por ejemplo, Sol Camp les entrega cuando llegan un kit de bienvenida, que es playera, que es gorra, que es botella de agua, que es esta parte para colocarnos nuestro gafete. O sea, todo viene incluido. Entonces, lo único que nos dice Nick que no está incluido es el vuelo, pero que creen, chicos, lo pueden contratar con nosotros, Mundo Joven, para que se lleven todo su paquete completo. La verdad es que no pierdan la oportunidad de vivir esta experiencia, como lo he externado muchas veces. Un campamento de verano les abre la puerta a los chicos para una siguiente experiencia en el extranjero y sé que les va a ir increíble. Ok, Nick, what do you think if we start with our viewers' questions? It's okay with you?
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. So we have our first question is from Ileana. She's asking you if what's the best age to send a kid over to a summer camp.
Okay, Ileana, that's a good question. I think that really depends on the student. Uh, I mean, we accept students as young as 7 years old in our overnight program. And as I said to you before, students come from all around the world. So imagine, I'm from Thailand. I've had 7-year-olds from Thailand come all the way here alone and stay and have a great experience. I think any age will be a great age. It's about making sure that they're comfortable once they're here. So if you're worried because your child is very young, I'd like to assure you that once they're here, our staff will take every step to make sure that their experience is enjoyable, that they feel comfortable, and when they are feeling homesick, that we'll take steps to reach out either to you, Ileana, if it's your child that's homesick, or the different parents. That way, we can make sure that um, students are just always at ease. So really, I think that's a question that's based on the student themselves. And of course, uh, we think that it is important for you to have that discussion with your kids to make sure that they're comfortable to be away, that it's not going to be a horrible experience or a scary one for them. So I would say all ages between 7 to 18 are a good age to come and have summer experience with us.
Perfecto. Ok, Ileana, bueno, nos comenta Nick que la edad depende mucho del estudiante y depende mucho también de nosotros, porque ellos reciben chicos desde 7 años, ya bien nos los decía Nick, él es de Tailandia y recibe chicos de Tailandia desde los 7 años y, por ejemplo, con los chiquitos se toman mucho esta parte de darles el acompañamiento necesario para que se sientan cómodos, para que estén felices, para que sí, como sabemos, el extrañamiento y esta parte del homesick es normal que les suceda, pero ellos se aseguran de que cuando estén en el campamento van a estar muy contentos, muy felices y que los van a apoyar durante esta parte también. Si los chicos están como con esta parte de mucho extrañamiento hacia nosotros como papás, pues se van a comunicar con ustedes para que apoyemos nosotros como papás. Se los he dicho muchas veces que parte de la experiencia que los chicos van a tener es que nosotros como papás los empujemos a seguir viviendo la experiencia y que se sientan apoyados por nosotros. Sí, los vamos a extrañar muchísimo, pero están ellos muy bien allá. Y lo contrario, hay chicos que llegan allá y se olvidan completamente de los papás y no les llaman y son los mismos papás que están buscando al chiquito porque se les olvida, ¿no? Entonces hay como estas dos tipos de chiquitos que vamos a tener allá, pero Sol Camp siempre los va a estar apoyando. Okay, Nick, so our next question is from Nelly, and her question is, can my sisters of 15 and 8 years can go together?
Yeah, so Nelly, that's a great question. One of the great reasons, or one of the great things about our programs, children and teenage program, is that they're held on the same campus. So while your two sisters might be at a different program, they'll be on the same campus, which means they'll see each other probably every day. They can fly together, they can get their transfer together. And, maybe when your 8-year-old is feeling a bit homesick, she'll have her sister there that she can talk to as well. And that's, I think, a very popular program we have with families. If you have children that are, children age and teenager age, I think having this option for either program at the same campus is a great selling point that we have and a great service that we can offer. Just like for anyone who might have a sibling that's older, maybe you have a 20-year-old and a teenager, and the two siblings fly together. That 20-year-old can go to school at our adult program, stay in a homestay, and be in the same city, and they can come and visit and their siblings whenever they want. So yeah, they'll be able to study at the same program.
Perfecto. Ok, Nelly, te platico. Nos dice Nicky que claro que pueden viajar juntas, de hecho es muy bueno porque al quedarse en el mismo campus, las chicas, aunque tomen diferente programa, por ejemplo, la de 8 va a tomar el programa de Children's y la de 15 va a tomar el programa de Teenagers, entonces van a estar en el mismo campus y cuando, por ejemplo, la chiquita tenga homesick, pues la hermana la puede ayudar a que no se sienta tan triste y que pueda ayudarla a que se le suba la energía y regrese otra vez a sentirse bien. De la misma manera, ellas viajan juntas en el vuelo, llegan al campamento y bueno, cada una está en el programa que le corresponde. De la misma manera sucede cuando, por ejemplo, nosotros ya mayores, que tenemos un hermano pequeño que queremos mandar a un campamento, lo podemos hacer, ya que el chiquito va a estar en San Michael's, directamente en Sol Camps, y nosotros como adultos vamos a estar en la escuela de idiomas, tomando un curso de idioma. Y cuando queramos, podemos ir a visitar a nuestro hermano para ver cómo está y para que veamos que todo va bien con él. Okay, Nick, so our next question is from Vero Zúñiga, and her question is, what is the new implementation for the summer camp for next year? Because all of the COVID and everything that we need to use now. So what are the new things that you're going to do in Soul Camps for 2021?
So, Vero, that's a great question. And that's one that I'm sure is at the top of the mind for many parents around the world, especially looking ahead. Um, One of the things that we're going to make sure that we do is have testing for students before they come, because we know that access to testing will improve and will increase. So, hopefully, before they fly, they'll be able to get a fit to fly certificate from their doctor. Once they arrive, we'll also take special precautions to make sure that students next summer are only with roommates that came together in the same group. One of our, I think, biggest features was that we used to have students from around the world staying together in double rooms. But unless the group comes together, we would like to avoid that just to keep that extra space and boundary. Um, as I mentioned, our insurance providers will protect students while they are here in Canada, and if they contract any, COVID, um, uh, would you say symptoms, they'll be taken care of as well, and we'll have an effective policy in place, um, aligned with the University of Toronto's policy as well. Uh, our staff will also be required to take tests very often, and will require wearing masks. But don't worry, that might be a new part of the Soul Camp swag that we provide to our students as well. They might have Soul Camps masks that they can come in and enjoy.
Perfect. Ok, pero bueno, te platico. Algunas de las nuevas implementaciones que hará Sol Camps, una de ellas es que todos los estudiantes que viajen, antes de viajar se hagan la prueba para saber que todos van negativos, que todos van muy bien. De la misma manera, llegando al campamento, lo que van a tratar de evitar es que entre nacionalidades duerman en el mismo cuarto para evitar contagios también. Y vamos a tratar de que todos los chicos que viajen en un mismo grupo queden en los mismos cuartos para tener esta parte también de las distancias y que todos los que viajen juntos pues también estén protegidos. De la misma manera, los proveedores de seguro de médico van a cubrir a los chicos ante cualquier situación de COVID y también pues van a usar todo el staff y todos los chicos nuestro querido cubrebocas, pero no pasa nada porque esto le dará un pretexto a Sol Camps para incluirlo en su kit de bienvenida con su mascarilla de Sol Camps. Entonces yo sé que va a estar muy padre. Okay, Nick, so that's where all the questions that we have right now. I know we're going to have more because this video is going to be saved in our social media pages. So before we go, I want you to give a goodbye message to all our students and tell them to come right now to Toronto for next summer.
Yeah, I mean, we're super excited for next summer. I think after a long period of many people being cooped up, unable to leave or travel due to lockdowns, there's going to be a lot of great energy and positivity around our camps next summer. And I think that our staff are more excited than could ever be to work and to also welcome our students back. And I think that we've got a lot of really fun, new, exciting activities in store as well. So I'd say to all of you, if you're looking or you're considering, think about the destination. I think Toronto's fantastic. Think about the value of the program. We offer a great academic program, a really, really fun activities program. And at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that you guys learn, you guys have fun, and that you make friends when you come and study here with Soul Camps.
Perfecto. Ok, chicos, pues como dice Nick, la verdad es que el siguiente verano aseguramos que se van a llenar los campamentos. Entonces, chicos, es el momento para apartar o para inscribirse al campamento y no quedarse sin lugar, porque el próximo año todos estamos muy emocionados por que ya viajen. Entre ellos, Soul Camps ya está muy emocionado de recibirlos. Todo el staff ya está listo para regresar a trabajar, para estar con todos ustedes, campistas. Y de la misma manera, pues, es el mejor momento para empezar a planear su campamento de verano 2021. Chicos, de verdad, no pierdan esta oportunidad. Recuerden, ya nos quedan pocos minutos para que acabe la expo, entonces corran con nuestros asesores especialistas de Mundo Joven Estudios en el Extranjero para que les puedan dar las cotizaciones de los costos de Soul Camps y que puedan ustedes inscribirse ya a estos programas. Así que todos métanse a expoestudiosenelextranjero.com para platicar con nuestros asesores. Nick, it was a pleasure to see you. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you very much for your time. Always is super amazing to talk to you. You have this vibe that we get so, I don't know, I get super happy when I talk to you. So thank you very much. And again, thank you for your time. Have a really nice weekend. Take care. Stay safe. Chicos, les recuerdo, yo soy Ale Morán. Corran, no pierdan las promociones. Nos estamos viendo en la siguiente edición, chicos. Por ahora nos despedimos. Cuídense mucho, quédense en casa y nos vemos en las siguientes transmisiones, chicos. Cuídense mucho. Goodbye, Nick. Take care.
Bye. Thank you, Ale. Thank you, Mundo.
Bye a todos.
Bye-bye, guys. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
See you next summer at Soul Camps.